Alright, so we got the motor set in, tranny crossmember made. Now I've got to figure out exhaust. Pretty much, let me go over what's going on here. So, let me grab one more, hold on. Bang, 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 bang. Okay, let's see. There we go. All right, so the top three are the most common exhaust manifolds you'll find on an 8.1. Top one is medium duty. There's no left and right. That is left and right. So where that outlet is just where it exits depending on which side of the motor it's put on. The second one is van, that, GMT400, or I should say 455, that, with an 8.1. Also, I've seen them in RVs. It just depends. It is the tightest fitting manifold to the block, and it has a regular 3-bolt with a donut. And then on the GMT 800 trucks, you have this style, and it has the flange with the goofy gasket. Sometimes there's a donut, sometimes there's not. It just depends. It's really weird on that, and I don't know why they can't seem to figure out what to do. So those are the ones that come on 8.1s normally. Now this is an older big block. So I want to say square body and possibly some other stuff like second gen Camaro big block maybe, and maybe second gen Chevelle. Is that right? Well, yeah. Now it had donuts, but it was real flimsy, and I was going to run a turbo anyway, so I just welded a V-band flange onto it. And this is actually the manifolds I'm going to use in my S10 swap. But none of these fit this swap. Not stock, at least. Now, I got creative with the driver's side one and flipped it around. I was like, man, but I don't want to do all that. Probably what I'm going to end up doing is, since I have a lot of these GMT 800 manifolds. Oh, and I gotta tighten it up. But the GMT 800 driver's side fits besides. I mean, it fits regardless. I don't know if you can see it. The flange points at the frame. That's what they always do on the swaps, because they made the flange width so wide on these. I don't know why. But the nice thing about the GMT 800 manifolds is V6, V8, 8.1, they're all the same spacing. So you can take a V6 out, put an 8.1 in, and the exhaust will bolt right up to the manifolds. Only problem is they made that kick out. See this kick out right here? Where the manifold's over here, and right at the end it kicks out. Well, it's even worse on these. And it makes swapping retardedly hard. But I was just playing around with the directions and seeing what would fit. Actually, this one will fit the passenger RV one. If I grind that nub off, it was barely hitting the steering shaft. But this one fits even better, so I'm going to use that style, and I'll use a matching set, so then I don't have one of this and on one side and something different on the other. But that's the trials and tribulations of doing this stuff. Also, this is a marine crossover. Normally the 8.1 has a thermostat housing and comes out over here. Actually, I can show you. Hold on. Actually, I've got one right here. Yeah, see how it goes way up there. It's great for some stuff, especially if the radiator outlet's there, but of course my radiator outlet's not there, and then I have a truck that lives right there. So it would be like right up against the fuse box. So I already have 2 of these. So I'm going to use this one, and then it helps me because here's my outlet. So I go boop to here. It also has enough fittings because normally the 8.1, the radiator in 8.1 has a nipple on it for the heater hose. Well, like nothing else besides the earlier stuff has that. So at least now I have a nipple for my heater hose. I have a nipple for my sending. Well, I got my sending unit there, but if I want to run a gauge, because this truck just has a basic bullshit thing that can be somewhat inaccurate. You know, if you actually want an accurate reading, I'd like to have a gauge that has an accurate reading, especially with something this size in this truck. This is the 9902 throttle body. This is actually off a 5.3, but it's the same size as 8.1. It's just the 5.3 one has this crankcase venting, and it has this stupid, I think my throttle body's going to freeze thing. So I'm going to, of course, take that hose off and just cap that. I've actually already welded this intake for boost, so that's already blocked off. So officially I could just, it would be an air leak here, but I'm just going to cap it with a vacuum cap, and then if I get crazy and decide to boost this thing, I'll just take that out, tap it, and put a plug in it. But this is a 9902 throttle body. It fits better than the 03 up throttle body. I'll show you that here. So this is 03 up oil fill. The 9902 oil fill straight up. Now I'm probably going to have to just block that off and then put a cap here, because as you can see, it's it's close, but I might be able to get that to work. But I'm probably just gonna do that because it's just so much easier. And I'm already planning on putting breather bungs in here anyway. So you just get a freeze plug and plug it off and do that. But anyways, back to the throttle body thing. Where is it? Oh, here's the 03 to 09 throttle body, and I'll show you the fitment. So you can see why you have to use the curved oil fill on that throttle body. See how, but it's also taller in this area right here. Now these are harder to come by, but I still find them, so I still got them. Hell, I got 4 vehicles right now that have them in it. So I'll continue using this. Plus the harness I have works with this anyway. So, but it's beefier up top, which makes, you know, hood clearance. I'm probably gonna have to delete some structure out of this. I'm probably gonna have to go and get rid of this part right here. I was looking at the cowl hoods, and they have the same structure. They just have the cowl on it. So, and that's about it. The only other one they have is this weird one that has the cutout. I don't even know what it copies, but it has a cutout in the front that doesn't do anything, and then it has a cowl on the back. So if anything, every hood I need a Sunoco style hood where the bubble is bigger in the front than the rear. That's what I could use, but I think I can get everything fit underneath the stock hood with some slight modifications. But that's where I'm at now. I'm working on, I want to just get the exhaust figured out at least. But I'm pretty sure I'm just going to hack. This is hitting, because I got the engine sitting so far back. I can kind of show you. But it's hitting the firewall, right where the bend is. Initially I was hoping this manifold would work because it fits tight to the block. And this is a non-EGR one. So it has the casting, but it didn't have the hole. So I cut that off, hoping it, and I hit on this bump here, and I'd have to grind it almost down to nothing to even get close. And I'd rather just sacrifice a manifold that I have plenty of. I have like 6 or 7 sets of these, so I'm just gonna cut it here. I might keep the flange and just turn it, weld a piece of exhaust pipe to fix the gap, and then reuse that flange, or turn it, you know, somewhere to get it clear. But it's not that hard. And these are what I call casts. stainless or something. There's not too bad to weld. Unlike the earlier stuff where it was just like the junkiest cast I could find. So that's how I'm going to fix that problem. My drive shaft is going to work out. I just need to get the right U-joint. It has a conversion for the S10, and I need a conversion for this, whatever U-joint style this is. Eventually an S10 rear end is going to go in here, but this one's in here now, and I don't have to do any more work just to get it running. I'm probably going to go ahead and take care of the axle tubes, weld those up for now. This is a limited slip, so it kind of, I don't want to turn it and drop my drive shaft, but the 480 I have in here, it has a fixed yoke. This joint I paid a ton of money. They get 1,000 horsepower rated with a slip in it. So, and it's not even been driven on yet. So that's the one I'm going to use for now. This particular truck has returnless fuel, so I'm going to use that for now. I do have a returnless 8-1 harness, or not harness, but the fuel rail. But I think it has 8-1s are bad about. LSs have this issue too, but they usually have them on the ends because they're plastic, and then they use these O-rings and a metal cap to seal them. Well, here there's an O-ring on each side, and then they crimp it. Well, if those O-rings dry out or break, then fuel leaks out, and then you have a fire. It's, you know, it's great. But if you don't want a barbecue, I've taken this off, and I've welded a dash 6 stainless fitting on here, and just run a push lock hose, and then if you need to take one side off, you can, and it's a lot easier, and you fix the defect that is that. So I've got at least one returnless I'll use. Pull this return one off. The other thing is I'm going to unbolt these, and I'm going to turn these because I have to get my heater hose on. AC clearance is good. Originally I was going to do a single belt system, but making the custom brackets and getting everything fit, it's just easier to go. Since these trucks came later on with a V8, the AC hoses are like $25 a piece new. So I just got to run the 2010 up V8 AC hose, so where the compressor is, and I've got the bracket. I think I've got enough clearance even with my custom engine mount. And then as you can see, this is the dryer. The dryer's been open forever, so I'm going to replace the dryer. The other line goes here, here, down to the compressor. It's real long, so I'll probably just snake it underneath and plug it in the compressor so I can have AC. So I've got 90% of the problems figured out. Probably end up using, I'm going to use a stock O2 drive-by-wire truck harness, and then mount the PCM in the fuse box where the battery goes. If I had the other wheel well right now, I would probably just put the battery over here, but I don't. So I'll probably put it in the back for now. Eventually I'd probably go get another wheel well so I'm not throwing rocks and dirt, and just trim it enough so I can still do spark plug changes through the side and everything without busting my knuckles too much. But that's where I'm at now. I'm going to hack that off and get busy test fitting that, and hopefully I'll have the exhaust figured out by the end of the day. So I'll add this to my Rambletron of videos. Well, I got busy cutting. So just to give you an idea, this is my low buck solution, my sloppy manifold modification. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the EGR thing off, because I'll show you. I don't know if this thing will freak out if I turn my camera, but it's hitting the, you can see the difference and why I had to cut it. I'm going to cut the EGR off, weld that hole shut, and then I'm probably going to do something similar to that. So I'll tack it there. I got to put the starter in and make sure it doesn't hit before I do all that work. But I'll tack it there and then fix that void and weld it back up and grade it all down, make it look pretty. But that's my solution for that. And then let me climb on the other side and show you how the other one fits. Once I tighten up the bolt, really. So it's about, let me see if I can get in there at the better angle of the dangle here. Of course, I can't see the screen when it's down here, but that gives you an idea of clearance on the steering shaft. I'm going to make sure that brake line is far away from the manifold and probably put some wrap on it. That wiring harness I'll unplug there, and I'll probably route it on the other side of the frame and run up through the wheel well and get the heat off of that. But I'll show you how the flange fits. If I really wanted to, I could cut it and move it as well. I really don't want to. I can just cut the exhaust pipe at an angle and weld it on, but as you see, there's the frame. I can get to 2 bolts with a socket, no problem, but that third one is pointed at the frame right now. So, but I can make that work. Just got a piece of exhaust pipe going at an angle. And then I gotta figure out how I'm gonna get past this goofy torsion bar crossmember. But if I do that, I can run the long filter like I like to run on these motors, because that is the 4-wheel drive filter, the 450 PF 454 short one. There's a longer one. I forget the name. I think it's 29. I could be wrong. And then I got the PF 932, which is the 2-quart one, which is almost to the bottom of the pan. So, but that's what's going on with that. I'm going to get busy and test fit more stuff. Okay. I got the manifold modified. Let me see if I can get closer. It ain't pretty, but it'll work. And this one's bolted in. Next, well, you get an idea where the belt's going to be. Unfortunately, a water pump always sticks out further than the accessories, so I'm going to bolt the alternator power steering on, make sure that fits. I'm pretty sure it should. Only thing I got to worry about is maybe the pump pointing at this. And I'm pretty sure the AC bracket will bolt on as well. It bolts on those 3 bolt holes right here. And since this truck in later life came with a 5.3 with a compressor down there, I've got the lines figured out for the AC. So let me get busy bolting stuff on and checking fitment and go from there. All right, got the GMT355 Halt power steering bracket on. This little thing has some clearance issues with it, so in here and in here, something to be aware of. I'm going to try to read the part number. 12 57 89 30, and that's that other style crossover that exits here, and then the other one puts the thermostat right about here, which didn't really help me any. So, and this gave me more ports for the heater hoses. Let's see. The water pump's on. This is a GMT 800 water pump. as well with the upward pointing outlet. I don't understand why they did that, but whatever. The long pulleys use the downward facing outlet. And then I've got enough room for my fan, so that works out good. I'm gonna actually got two 8-inch fans that go over there, and I'll probably use those for they'll just stay on any temp above 160, and then this will be AC and engine cooling. Let's see. I've got some AC brackets I gotta go dig out. I'm pretty sure I got an AC compressor. I'm not 100%. I gotta dig through all that stuff, but I'm gonna get that mounted next. Check everything. If that's good, weather is kind of crap today. We're waiting. It may snow tomorrow, believe it or not. But I'm getting what I can done as of now. I got to figure out the original belt length. I'm pretty sure I have a belt to put on here. So far, besides buying a bottle of brake fluid, I haven't spent any money. So all this is junk I've had laying around, believe it or not. Yeah, I've got a lot of 8.1 crap. But I'm working the brake booster hose and fitting. I've got to get the, I'm not going to, for obvious reasons, mainly, what is this thing doing? Reached endpoint? Oh, I don't know when it started doing that. Sorry, guys. But for obvious reasons, I can't get to the oil pressure fitting back there. I plugged it already. So I'll probably make a manifold off of the, you can probably almost see it. It's right above the oil filter. It's blocked by the exhaust outlet right now, but there's a fitting on the side. Heat them up first, and it uses this weird, it's a weird square. I don't know why. I just don't use normal pipe plugs, but why the gimbal keeps doing some stupid shit, or I keep bumping it, one or the other. Sorry about that. It's a 5/16 square plug. This is my snap-on one. It's the only reason I bought this thing is for those stupid plugs and those. But probably what I'll do is I'll put a 90 on it and then run a hose up to a manifold, and then I can put all my pressure sensors in the same spot. One for the idiot light, one for mechanical gauge. But let me go dig that stuff out. I got the weather permits. I'm going to work on the making the exhaust. I've got the tailpipe right there, 3.5 inch, and a Dynamax Ultra Flow. It's just a straight through, pretty much a muffler. I'm going to use that, but I got to make the connection pieces because, as usual, you know, swap, nothing fits, and you got to make things work. So, and once I get that done, I'll put the gaskets on and all the bolts in for the manifolds. Then I've got to still got to go dig through my U-joints. I may actually have the conversion joint for this already, so again, that would be nice because January is, I don't have any money month. It's like the Monday of months. This fuel pump did work to drain the tank when I got this frame, so hopefully it'll be good enough to get it running at least. We'll see. Yeah, let me get busy on that and stop rambling. So I was cleaning up for the day, and I was just curious if the hood was shut, and it does. Granted, there isn't a whole hell of a lot of room, and luckily, since someone cut out this wheel well, I can show you the gap, or lack of gap. I probably end up making a little elbow for the throttle body and turning it so I can get an actual tube on it. But and I got the AC compressor on.